Hello Capricorn, this will be your June reading. If you are a returning watcher, thank you for coming to sit for a while. If you are a new viewer, welcome. I believe there is a new moon in Gemini. There's also a small amount of activity in Sagittarius this month, but I don't believe it's anything that is particularly mind-blowing. As I talked about in May, I think June is going to be a fairly quiet month energetically for everyone. But again, let's see what your cards say. I did mention that I needed to do some grounding work for myself, and so if you see black paint on my hands, excuse me. Capricorn, I feel the need to pull one more card for you, so let's do that. Alright, my dears, where are we? Okay, Capricorn. Some impatience this month about a slow-moving issue. There may be some details in the background that are not coming forward to your liking, or as much. You may feel that there maybe is someone keeping something from you that you think is there. They may have told you a story and you think that when they told the story the second time you sensed a detail in there that didn't match, and so before you go ahead with this person you feel like you either want to hear the story again, or when you ask them about it again and you tried to correct them or ask them about it, they got really pissed. Oh, okay. And this may be surrounding issues that you've had with them before. Maybe this was a person who had an addiction issue and you feel like maybe they are, this is so specific, maybe this is a person who is relapsing, maybe this is surrounding cheating, maybe this is surrounding something, or it may not be that deep for some of you. It's hard when the readings are general, but for some of you this may be, you sensed something when they told the story again, and this is just sort of driving you away. And so it makes you feel like you want to go. So that was for some of you where it was very specific. For others of you, this is a time where you are feeling a sort of separation from an old self. A sort of, so this gets a little philosophical for some of you. This, I think, may pertain to some of the career people. So you may be feeling a sort of split between your masculine and your feminine energy. If you are a woman, for instance, in the career world, you may be trying to think of how to balance that real masculine and feminine energy to get the most sort of bang for your buck in the corporate world. Again, this is so specific. And it may mean the difference between you making it or not making it in your field. Also, if you're a woman of a certain age, this is so oddly specific, but I just see what I see, Capricorn, so I hope I'm phrasing that in a way that's appropriate. So for others of you, and I've really never seen a reading quite like this where it's broken up in such a way. So this is a different group. So you may be sort of going back and forth between trying to find your balance in family life. Actually, Capricorn, I apologize. This could be 3 different groups, or this could be the same. How do I phrase this? This could be one person who in 3 different areas of your life. So this could be a person who is balancing 3 different areas. I've just never seen a reading break in 3 like this. I hope I explained that in a way that makes sense. So it could be 3 different groups, or again, one person whose 3 separate areas, that would be family, love life, and career, who are just so distinct at this period in their life where the energy is just breaking into 3 parts in such an intense way that the reading is breaking that way as well. And I do have to just interrupt the reading for one moment to just, again, I've mentioned this in other readings, that energetically at this point in time, it is a very interesting period in terms of astrology and things like that. So some of the readings are becoming interesting for many readers. So again, let's come back to this bottom row. In terms of family life, there are a couple of things happening here. So a very sort of black and white energy in terms of feeling moments of great joy with your family. However, also trying to walk a line between really enjoying the family, but also feeling like you are so putting other people's needs so ahead of your own that you are sacrificing your own well-being and identity, and have so far strayed from what you once were that perhaps the vision of what you once thought of as a family unit is very different, and you certainly have sacrificed your pre-family identity. So of course, I think most people have their single identity, whatever they were prior to marriage and children, and then that has to morph into something else. Right? So you're deeply meditating prior to having a family on what that would look like. And I think some of the sacrifices and even maybe the dynamic of marrying into other families and what that looks like, and the compromises that you have to build into that, sometimes require putting pieces of yourself away entirely or altering them to such a degree and of course you're always on show. That mask that we wear to be a good mother, a good father, a good sister, a good brother, sometimes is on so frequently that it morphs into us all the time. And so maybe the only time when we feel like ourselves is at night, you know, when we're alone and we remember what we were. And I think sometimes there's a mourning and a loss for that person. We certainly always romanticize what we are not anymore. So when we're single, we always think, won't it be great when I'm married? When we're married, we always look at single people and say, wow, isn't that great? But I want everyone to remember it's sort of that grass is greener thing. You know, I just want one more for this. I think there's an internal struggle right now, Capricorn, going on. And I think you've had that in a lot of your past readings. I feel like there's been a lot of that internal. I think at night when you go to bed, there's a lot of laying in bed at night awake. Again, there's this internal struggle theme. Yeah. A lot of eyes on me, and I have to keep this, this facade up until I figure out what's going on, and, you know, I have to, but I'm struggling inside. A lot of that vibe going on in June. Let's have some advice for Capricorn. Like that wants to, oh, too many. Nope. Well, my loves, let's pull them all and see what we have. So I think what we have is, it's time for a break, Capricorn. It's definitely time for a break. You know, I think any time can be time for a celebration. Just celebrate that you're here. You know, it can be time to just, it's in the Western world, it's summer. It can be time just to, if you have a vacation coming, take it. Take it and just reconnect with whatever you love. If it's friends, if that means friends, family, I think somewhere there may be a feeling that there's a feeling of loss somewhere for you. And maybe finding out what that feeling is about, maybe just acknowledging it, not digging too deeply into it, may be the beginning of moving through this period for you. There may also be a younger male involved for some of you, or one coming if you are single. I think this could potentially be, for some of you, a period of rebirth spiritually, or rejuvenation, which is beautiful. You know, a lot of the cards here are about reconnecting with nature. A lot of the cards here are about rejuvenation, rebirth. The tornado, of course, is about, you know, feeling that chaotic energy. But they're also about new paths. All of these cards are about rebirth, rejuvenation, and on the other side, a sort of chaotic energy where you're just going and going and going. So, I think, Capricorn, if you can carve out the time, it can be anything. I mean, you can go for a walk. You can, you know, if you have trees in your neighborhood, just listen to them. And if that sounds too corny for you, just whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Doesn't have to be, you know, in the near future. I think something is coming to you, Capricorn, but it's not the right time. There will be messages coming to you, but you're not ready yet. So I would try to, instead of keeping yourself awake at night, sort of thinking you have to solve this problem, I would try to take some rest in the fact that there is a time and a place for messages to come, but it just may not be your time yet to be open and receive messages from the universe. I think, but the fact that you are open is a fantastic sign. But if you are geared up, if you are so chaotic inside, even if you had that knowledge from the universe, it might not necessarily be any good for you. And I think the universe knows when to give people what they need. So the universe may be waiting for you to slow down a bit so that you not only are open to the knowledge, but know what to do with it when you get it. So, I mean, the angel cards, you know, indicate that the universe is waiting on you. But I think slowing down is a part of that picture for you. So Capricorn, this really was, in the end, an uplifting message. Please feel free to like or comment, whichever you're comfortable with. I do answer all of the comments. I really do like to know how everyone is doing. And as I said, I think July will be an interesting and faster moving month for everyone. So Capricorn, take care.